Howdy, howdy, it's Harry here. I know I said kings and crays next, but it just didn't chronologically work for me. It's coming, it's definitely coming, but I just thought I'd slip this video in here, otherwise I was just never going to upload it. And if you like spearfishing, I think you'll still like this one. Welcome to the annual pilgrimage to the Mid-North. Episode 2, Round 2, Version 2, whatever you call it. It's number 2 because there was a number 1. Well, I mean, it's just 2019 because the last one was from 2018 and this one is the trip to the Mid-North from this year. Glad we got that out. I once heard from someone else who was told by someone else that some dive trips you film on and some film trips you dive on. This trip was definitely a dive trip that we did a bit of filming on. We focused on diving. We got out at dawn and got back at dusk, but it was a good trip and we saw so much cool stuff. I was in two minds about posting this video. I'm like, oh, it's not really a neat product. It's, you know, just a whole bunch of clips. But they're beautiful clips, so let's get into them. And if I do say so, I think we did pretty well on fish. And when I say we, I did okay. I certainly didn't film much, which I'm a bit ashamed about, I'm sorry. But I judge we on, you know, my boat. The boys really helped out here. Mitch put a lot into this, and Luke's got one clip here, which I'm very envious of. We'll get to that. And Josh got amongst it too, of course, with a first for himself. Anyway, without further ado, let's start this trip up north. And of course, a trip away doesn't start without some retro diving tunes. After a big night of driving, we're up early. Conditions are looking pretty good. The beach, however, not looking so good.
Nice beach in Coffs Harbour, yeah. Check this out, maggots everywhere. Check out these bad boys. They are crazy.
No time to waste, in we hopped.
Yep, do it.
And not the best water clarity, but I was still able to pick out some fish. Of course, first couple of drifts, spot a couple nice kingies, but as I aim it up, I think, I came here for a mackerel, I didn't come here for a kingie. Something we can get elsewhere. I was like, plenty more time for that if I need a feed to take home. I didn't want to take a shot on this and then have mackerel swarming around me, as it was like probably my first, second, maybe third drift. Next up, Mitch, with a nervous onlooker, sees a school of big barracuda. I don't know if you've seen these things fight, but I think that's what Mitch was worried about here. So he was aiming it up going, I've got to get the stone shot on this. Booyah. And if you've seen one of Daniel Mann's recent videos, barracuda actually aren't too bad on the chew. We had a taste of the barracuda later that night. Actually pretty good. Flesh was pretty white, tasted alright. If you want a nice sashimi feed at the end of the day, these amberjack do the trick. Okay, first sign of mackerel. These are, you might notice, spotted mackerel. Slightly different and smaller as a species, but this will be a first for Mitch. Not doing too bad, is he, with the accuracy?
Like that? Stoned him, yeah. Yeah. No, I was slapping going like this, and they all came back. Yeah, I saw them, then I did that, and they all just like, whoop, and then they're like six, and then the biggest one was in front of me, but he was going off too far. I'm like, oh, I'll just fuck up the shot, so I'll go for the small one, then just stoned it. Yeah. Ew.
Alright, big school of mac tuna. You see this in the last pilgrimage to the Mid-North. This time, actually get shot into. Stalking mangrove jack in the shallows. These are fish that hide up in caves but also like coming out around the rocky reefy terrain. Now when we head up the coast, we actually start to see some other species of crays. At this spot we spot some coral crays, which have some long antennas, pretty nice. This one's a good size one. Check out those legs, plenty of meat on that to cook up. Alright, that's enough for day one. Let's get in. We got a lot to do before tomorrow. Up again before sunrise for day two. The weather up top wasn't as good. We had rain, but damn, down below looked nice. Some of the shots on this day were just beautiful. The water clarity was incredible. Like, isn't that a sight for New South Wales? This vortex of kingfish.
That's crazy, eh?
Alright, after Mitch convinced Luke, Josh and me to taste the barracuda last night, and we actually liked it, one out of this school was going to be selected. So cool up here, when you see rays, often they can have fish hanging off them, and these are cobia. They're only small ones, but they are legal. We do endless drifts on these trips, with the boys all rotating between boatie and diving. We do about 30-minute turns of each diver in the water, so you get about an hour and a half of diving before you need to be boatie. Okay, I spot a school of kingies. This time, maybe I'm not going to leave them. I haven't got that much fish to take home, and it's nearing towards the end of the trip. Let's take one. When I started aiming up at this school, I noticed the kingfish didn't look too big. I just remember looking at the bottom of the school and seeing one kingfish that looked so much bigger than the other fish in the school. Kingfish have a lot of power to fight with, and this fish wasn't giving up anytime soon. Now, notice that he's constantly spinning around me. With big fish, this can be quite dangerous, as you got to watch out that your line doesn't get wrapped up around you. So as it's spinning around me, I'm actually trying to spin with it and kick away from my line. There's so much beautiful marine life up here. Mitch again, see how much footage you contributed to this? Good fish. Both the boys on, plugging fish out of the depths. Alright, we're doing some diving in closer now. And we find a little hole that, yes, apparently has crays in it. So we head to the surface to work out a game plan to team up and go in and check out these deep cave up crays. But only one person's going to fit deep in that cave. So we decide that Mitch is going in. He's going to go in deep first. We're going to get all the way to the end of the cave where basically he wouldn't be able to turn around to get out. He's going to grab the lobsters, then he's going to tap his feet together. And when he taps his feet, we'll know he's ready to come out. And we'll have two divers behind him to pull him out. Alright, let's do it. There they are, 2 really big crays. We didn't know they were that big in there. They were so deep in the cave we could just see their antennas, and we weren't going in by ourselves to check them out. It wasn't until Mitch got toenail deep in, pulled them out, and realised these are big crays. We got to the surface, yahoos, because we can't believe how big these things are.
I couldn't see your feet anymore. I was like, I hope you haven't looked at it.
Oh my
fuck. I told you that was big.
Our eastern rock lobsters have a max legal size limit of an 18 centimetre carapace, and we decided these are definitely over the legal size, so we let them go to keep on breeding. Alright, the reason why we came up here, the pinnacle of this video, to hunt for mackerel. The boys are in the water. Now this is Luke Hollis. He was just on the bottom, just came up from a dive where he's breathing up and he saw a mackerel coming in. He goes down to line it up. And the fight is on. These fish know how to run.
Spanish! Harry!
Conditions are terrible. Luke is onto us. Fish and a half. Tombstone is float. He's trying to swim after it. And I've just chucked him another gun. I don't know what it is yet, but it's fighting hard.
I love the footage of the boat where you can just see the horrible weather, the wind's up, you got rain. But Luke, one thing on his mind, the mackerel is just chasing after it, one arm after the other, swimming to try and get up to it. This is real spearfishing, real fighting of fish.
Man's fish.
After a solid fight, he manages to catch up to it and dives down to secure the fish. Yahoos are on, no doubt. This is why we came here.
Yeehaw! Oh, frick, I'm so tired.
Josh got one yesterday, no footage, but this was a good size one. Everyone was stoked on this fish, even me, definitely me.
Oh, that's what we're getting here for.
I'm always stoked when people land good fish, especially out of my boat.
I bet. Yes! Oh, how good! Yes!
How good is that? End on a high, they say, so let's do that. That was literally only some of the clips from the annual pilgrimage to the Mid-North 2019. By the way, the annual pilgrimage to the Mid-North, basically it's a nice time of year to head up the coast because conditions are usually quite good and hopefully fish life is. So we head up and away, not too far, just so we can do a long weekend or even a weekend and just absolutely dive our hearts out and enjoy it. But whilst this was an intense diving trip that we managed to click the camera on at sometimes, next year we're going to blow this out of the water. So I'll see you there. Well, there'll be many more videos between now and then, and there's one coming very soon, so I'll really see you then.